I want to thank Chair Durbin and all of the Senate Democrats on the Judiciary Committee. They've done amazing work. Dick will get into the details. But this is an incredible milestone. This is a great day for America because we have expanded the judiciary. We have 200 lifetime appointments, and those are people who are going to really bring more justice and more diversity and more credibility to the bench. So it's a happy day for America, a very happy day for America. 200 judges confirmed to lifetime appointments under President Biden and this Democratic majority. 200 judges who are restoring balance and excellence to our courts. 200 judges increasing the diversity and dynamism of our judiciary. And 200 judges who are committed to applying the law fairly, impartially, and equally. You know, in the past, most of the people who got on the bench, or all too many, were white, male partners of big fancy law firms. That's changed. Of these 200 judges, we are so proud. 2/3 are women, 127. 2/3 are people of color, 125. Both had been traditionally underrepresented on the bench. We're catching up. We got a ways to go. But the bench for too long didn't look like America. It only looked like a portion of America. And now we are expanding to realize that all of America should be on the bench with federal judges who have such power. We're making our courts look more like America, something we can all be proud of. Over twice as many women and 3 times as many people of color confirmed under the last administration. More black judges, more Latino judges, more Asian American judges, the first Muslim American man and woman on the bench, the first Navajo federal judge, and of course the first black woman to sit on the United States Supreme Court, Ketanji Brown Jackson. And there's not just demographic diversity, there's professional diversity. As I said, not just partners in big law firms and prosecutors. We have public defenders, we have legal aid lawyers, we have consumer lawyers, immigration lawyers. Lawyers who have represented all kinds of people who deserve representation on the bench. We've confirmed more judges who are committed to preserving voting rights and upholding the rights of workers and families and immigrants. We have labor lawyers on the bench too. In other words, we've confirmed more judges who embody the very ideal of America. A place where rule of law is protected, where the rights of all are honored, and where everyone gets a fair shake. And I want to take this opportunity just to talk a little about New York, where I'm very proud Senator Gillibrand and I have worked so hard together. We have confirmed, since President Biden took office, the Senate has confirmed 17 well-qualified judges to serve on the federal bench. Eunice Lee, the second African-American woman ever to serve on the Second Circuit. Nusrat Chowdhury, the first Muslim woman and the first Bangladeshi on the federal bench ever. Ali Nathan, only the second openly LGBT woman to be confirmed on any circuit court and just the 4th gay out of the circuit court judge circuit ever. Of our 17 judges in New York, 12 are women, 11 are judges of color and come from professions previously unrepresented. Dale Ho, one of the brilliant voting rights lawyers in America from the ACLU's Voting Rights Project. Myrna Perez, daughter of Mexican immigrants from the Brennan Center of Justice, the second Hispanic woman to serve on the Second Circuit, the first being Judge Sotomayor. Nina Morrison, formerly an attorney for the Innocence Project and one of 2 openly LGBTQ district judges in the Eastern District. Finally, the people behind me, led by Chair Durbin, deserve tremendous credit. You know, the Judiciary Committee is often a contentious committee. We got a couple of the people from the other side who always like to pick fights, but these folks have been stalwart in sitting through them and making sure these judges are confirmed. The Judiciary Committee has done an amazing job. I salute them, and I want to call on their great leader, Chairman Durbin, to say a few words.
Thanks, Chuck. This is an exciting and historic moment. When you think about the credibility of our courts from the Supreme Court on down, it's not because they own an army to enforce their will. It certainly isn't because they have billions of dollars in media budgets to bend public opinion. It's their integrity and credibility that's at stake. When we were given this opportunity under President Biden to fill the vacancies in the federal judiciary, we of course looked to him first for guidance. He asked us, and I think we've met his request, to bring more diversity to the federal courts. When you walk into a courtroom and your freedom and your business and your family's interests are at stake, you'd like to look up there and see a judge that you believe really understands your way of life, your plight in life, what you face. That means more diversity. Black, white, and brown, women, people, minority groups that were not represented in the federal courts. So we set out to do that, and we did it, achieving 200 today and more to follow. I hope many more the rest of this year. It's been, yes, I hope it is heard by someone. But the bottom line is, it was not an easy task. In the first 2 years of the Biden administration, we were an evenly divided Senate, an evenly divided committee, and one of our members, our dear friend Dianne Feinstein, was sick many days and couldn't make it to the committee. We still managed to achieve this goal with her cooperation and her heartfelt interest all the way. We've also had an amazing challenge to make this a bipartisan approach. 90% of the judges that have been approved were with bipartisan roll calls. 3/4 of those roll calls for the circuit court had bipartisan roll call support. So we've done our best, and I've reached out to many Republicans, some of whom I really didn't know very well, and said, let's work together with the White House and see if we could fill vacancies. I was fortunate, even under the Trump administration, to fill, with Tammy Duckworth, to fill every vacancy in Illinois under that administration. You can do it if you're willing to compromise and willing to really work together, and that has happened. So where do we go from here? Well, with these new members of the judiciary, we have about 20% of the federal judiciary will be brand new under President Biden. We're going to continue his challenge to come up with diversity, to come up with the kind of leaders that will make a difference for the future of America and the credibility of the bench. I could go through my nominees as Chuck had. I have great pride as Senator Duckworth has. We have tried to find our very best using a professional panel. But I'd like to call at this point Fatima Gross-Graves, President and CEO of the National Women's Law Center. Fatima.
Good morning. I'm Fatima Gross-Graves, President and CEO at the National Women's Law Center, and I'm really thrilled to join here today to mark this important confirmation of the 200th judge committed to equal justice under the law. For us, it's more than a number. It represents a significant step forward, and I want to just echo the number that Senator Durbin put out there of 2/3 of those confirmations being women. So we commend the Biden administration, Leader Schumer, Senator Durbin, all of the members of the Senate Judiciary Committee who've been working so hard, and the entire Senate who shared a commitment to a fair and impartial judiciary, a judiciary that's poised to protect the rights of those who are most vulnerable members of our society. It's been really inspiring to see these unprecedented numbers, especially of women, particularly of women of color. We've seen the historic appointment, of course, of Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson just 2 years ago. We've seen the confirmations of dozens of civil rights lawyers, of former public defenders. We've seen confirmations that we really believe are essential to creating a judiciary that will protect all of our rights and that will reflect the diversity of this country. This milestone is a testament to our dedication to building a judiciary that serves all of us, but we also know that the work is not done, and we won't stop until every judicial vacancy is filled with judges who embody fairness, who embody integrity, and a commitment to justice. And our democracy and our courts are at such a critical crossroads. We need a federal judiciary filled with fair-minded, filled with ethical judges who are poised to protect our democracy and the civil rights that we have fought so very hard to achieve. And in our view, time is of the essence. to fill every single judicial vacancy with nominees who bring valuable lived experience, valuable professional experience to the bench. The federal courts, they shape the lives of people in this country every single day, from the workplace, from their ability to access the health care they need in their own communities. Our future really depends on these confirmations. Every judicial seat matters for our communities, for our rights, and for our future. So we look forward to working with the White House and with the senators who are here today and those who are not to continue prioritizing filling all remaining judicial vacancies with fair and impartial nominees who are committed to equal justice, who are committed to gender justice. Our communities depend on this. We look forward to working with you all. We are celebrating this 200th, and we are urging us all together to keep going. Thank you very much.
I'd like to call on my colleagues on the committee who have just done an amazing job. This committee is a challenge because you have to be physically present, sitting in your seat to vote for one of these nominees. So attendance is a critical element. I want to call in order of seniority. First, from the state of Minnesota, Senator Klobuchar.
Oh, well, thank you very much, Senator Durbin. As they say in the Senate, everything's been said, but I haven't said it. I am just so pleased that we have gotten these excellent judges on the bench. And I think the numbers that Senator Durbin provided you on how the vast number of them were in fact bipartisan. I think you hear a lot about the partisan fighting in Washington for good reason, but despite having senators of vastly different ideological backgrounds on the committee, when we got to the floor, we were always able, for the most part, to pick up support, not in every time, but we made the case, and you only do that if you have qualified nominees. So I specifically want to thank President Biden for putting forward such qualified nominees that, yes, have made this the most diverse slate of judges in the history of America, who brought us Ketanji Brown Jackson, an incredible leader of the judiciary, but who also picked up bipartisan support for these judges. And it's been an honor to be on the committee. We've got a number of Minnesota judges through. I'm not going to name them all, but one of them includes Jerry Blackwell, who was the lead prosecutor in the George Floyd murder case of Chauvin. And he is now serving on the federal bench along with several other very qualified nominees. And I want to thank you, Senator Durbin.
Thanks, Amy. Mazie Hirono.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Today we had another, what I would call a kabuki kind of hearing. We had 5 nominees, all women, and again, reflecting the diversity of our country. And if you put yourself in the shoes of the parties who come before these judges, to see the judge sitting there reflecting really the diversity of our country is really important to the litigants and to the parties. So I do want to mention that we have another first in Hawaii. We have the first Native Hawaiian female judge ever serving in the federal judiciary. So that's what we do, and I thank the chairman for his leadership.
Peter Welch is new to the committee and has been a terrific asset. Peter?
Well, I really want to thank Chairman Durbin for acknowledging the hard work of showing up and sitting in your chair. It's like called a JOB, right? We were all happy to do it. Whatever had to be done, we wanted to hit that 200 and keep going, so thank you. But number one, we have to have a strong judiciary that has integrity, a commitment to justice, that takes the rights of citizens very seriously, protects their freedoms under the Constitution. And we have done a good job getting that restoration of balance. A long way to go, but this is terrific. Secondly, we've talked about the diversity. You know what's so magnificent? We are finding qualified people from every community that makes up America. They are like smart. They have a record of public service and real commitment. They have put their ability to serve, their desire to serve ahead of a careerist opportunity, oftentimes on where they make an awful lot more money. And it comes from across the country. People of color, LGBTQ, former public defenders. I'm one, but they have not been really represented. So it's been terrific. It's been very, very wonderful for me as a new committee member to play a supporting role. And I just, all of us commend Senator Durbin. In his style and approach allowed us to get a significant amount of cooperation from the ranking member, and that's all attributable to you, but it gives, I think, all of us some confidence that these are really qualified people on the level and are going to be great public servants. Thank you.
Thanks, Peter. Jesselyn McCurdy is Executive Vice President for Government Affairs, the Leadership Conference on Civil and Human Rights.
Thank you, Senator Durbin. I'm so glad to be here alongside my coalition partners and our Senate champions today on this historic day. 200 judicial confirmations. We are so pleased and have worked so tirelessly with our champions and our coalition partners to ensure that judicial confirmations from the Biden administration have gotten across the finish line. For decades, the civil rights community has been at the forefront of this work because we know that each confirmation of a judicial nominee who is dedicated to equal justice makes a difference in the lives of people who appear in the judge's courtroom and to all of us who are impacted by the decisions that these judges make. Today, with the important leadership of President Biden, Chair Durbin, the Senate Judiciary members, and Majority Leader Schumer, we have pushed for and secured the confirmation of historic numbers of women, people of color, and other judges who have long been excluded from the federal bench. And crucially, more than 40% of the 200 confirmations have been of judges with significant experience protecting and advancing civil and human rights. We have made it clear, civil rights lawyers, public defenders, and other lawyers from professional, diverse backgrounds belong on the federal bench. But the truth is, while 200 nominations is a historic milestone, we can't stop here. We urge the White House and senators to fill all remaining judicial vacancies with diverse, qualified nominees who are committed to civil and human rights. And we urge the Senate to confirm the diverse and tremendously qualified nominees who are pending on the Senate floor. For the future of equal justice, for the future of fundamental rights, for the future of a multiracial democracy, this work must be a priority. Communities across the nation depend on federal courts and federal judges to fairly administer justice for all people in America. And we just must do everything to ensure that they can fulfill that promise. Thank you very much.
Senator Blumenthal of Connecticut is a member of the committee. I give him an invitation to say a few words and say some good things about the chairman. Right this way.
I am really honored and privileged to serve with Senator Durbin and my other colleagues on the Judiciary Committee. You know, I spent most of my life in the courtroom as a litigator, as a federal prosecutor, United States Attorney in Connecticut, and then as Attorney General of the state of Connecticut for 20 years. When I'm asked my occupation, what I say is trial lawyer. So I know firsthand what a difference a good judge makes, fair and smart. A judge who understands America, not just one strata or one segment of America, but all of America. And those kinds of people are the 200 that have been nominated and confirmed by this president. I'm so proud to be a part of that legacy. And when all is said and done, when all of our accomplishments are measured, our legacy will be these 200 judges and the others whom we will confirm. And the reason is they will continue to serve. When my 4 children appear in court, they're all becoming or are lawyers, proud of them. They will be appearing before these judges well after I am gone. these judges will continue to serve justice. They are literally the face and voice of justice in America. And they are one of the biggest achievements of this Congress and this administration. And I just want to thank all of the advocates and activists for holding our feet to the fire. Yes, they are the reason, or a good part of it, that we're doing what we're doing. They are holding our feet to the fire. They are holding a high standard. They are demanding action and integrity. And let no one doubt that it's taken a lot of work to do it. I want to credit my great colleague, Senator Durbin, as chairman, because I can tell you, behind the scenes, as well as publicly, he has pushed relentlessly. He has given us no quarter. He is relentless. And it is a tirelessness on behalf of justice that will be, I hope, all of our legacy, certainly his. And I am really proud to stand here today. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Wrapping up the program is Marge Baker. She's Executive Vice President of People for the American Way. Marge?
Thank you. Thank you so much. I am so pleased to be here, and thank you, Senator Blumenthal, for recognizing the coalition's work on this. I'm proud to be here with my colleagues, and I see a number of members of the coalition here, and it has been truly an effort, a wonderful effort that has gotten us to this point with the tremendous assistance of Senate Judiciary Chair Senator Durbin, Senate Majority Leader Schumer, and of course members of the committee who are really there and really continuing to stay there and do the hard work that it takes to get this done. So congratulations to all of you and to us and to President Biden on this exceptional achievement. Courts matter. Who sits on our courts matters. The American people know in their gut the role the courts play in their everyday lives, in the health and well-being of their families, from access to abortion care, to IVF treatments, to gun safety, to clean air and water, to our rights as workers and consumers, our right to be free from discrimination, and our fundamental right to vote. They know the role that courts play in their lives, and they know it matters how much it matters to have fair-minded judges on the bench. Ones with a demonstrated commitment to equal rights and justice for all, not just for the privileged and powerful. They know how important the milestone we celebrate today is, and how important it is for the President and the Senate to continue filling our courts with excellent and fair-minded judges. The quality of the 200 Biden judges confirmed so far is absolutely stunning. They are brilliant, professionally diverse, in tune with the experiences of real people, record numbers with backgrounds as public defenders or civil rights and public interest service. Nancy Abudu, Nicole Berner, Ariana Freeman, Dale Ho. I won't go on, I've only got a few minutes here, but it's huge. 2/3 are people of color, 2/3 women. More black women added to our appeals court than in all previous administrations combined, including the first black woman on the Supreme Court, Ketanji Brown Jackson. So thank you, President Biden, Senator Durbin, Senator Schumer, who had to leave, senators on the committee. Thank you so much. This is a record to be proud of and to build on. There's so very much more to do. We have stellar nominees in the pipeline: Adil Mangi, Nancy Maldonado, Amir Ali, Mustafa Kasabi, Sarah Russell, Dina Coggins from California, who we expect to be confirmed this afternoon as the 201st confirmation. So we will get to 201 today, this afternoon. Rebecca Pinnell, Brian Murphy, and no doubt similarly stellar nominees. So let's celebrate this exceptional milestone and dedicate ourselves to completing the job. Fill every vacancy we possibly can, because the people deserve justice and fairness from our courts. So thank you so much.
Moments before the lawnmower chops us up. I want to thank all my colleagues and the supporters who come out today. It is an amazing achievement. We're just getting started. Thank you all very much.